Here we are, back again, Boxing Day, session 2, midday. We're on to the delicious Larb Lao, which is Ling is going to cook in just a minute. And let's just kick off with a bit of a spiritual environmental preservation segment. Last time, at 10 o'clock this morning, just mentioned about the emotions we feel when confronted with people's suffering from environmental crises, and seeing the environment damaged, forests cut down. There's all sorts of things that we can be feeling and that I'm feeling. So there's the solastalgia from the environment being damaged, and the despair, sadness, overwhelm, touch of anger occasionally, of course, as well. But as I mentioned, in amongst that, there's a small flame, I call it, which is a feeling I have, a calling from the heart, which is got a will, a motivation in it, which is to respond to the situation, and it's around doing something to make the situation better or to heal the situation. And so it's a bit of a small kind of a feeling, but nonetheless it's pretty present for me. And often I find that when I'm feeling a bit discouraged, I can go back to that feeling, and there it is, and it just helps me to overcome the fear of doing things, or the tiredness or whatever, to get back on track with applying myself to the situation. And this I think just inside that feeling is also, as I mentioned, there's will, there's a motivation, there's like a commitment in there as well. And so that's something that I can expand upon and bring more energy to in as I go through my day and weeks, and in seeing what it is that I can apply myself to. So what it is that's particularly for me that's resonating for me to do in this situation of the modern crisis, and to get on with things. And so Glenn Albrecht, in his Earth Emotions book, he talks about something which sounds very similar, which is this emotion of soliphilia, which is this kind of feeling to get on with healing the situation. So here we go, and so more on that next session. And now we're over to Ling to get on with the Larb Lao.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, this morning I have already baked this mushroom bowl that sponsored by or donated by Lam Yong. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. So that is actually one of the ingredients that we actually going to use. But first of all, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands, our ancestors, my masters, Master Hsing Yun. I would like to thank him for the dharmas that he actually have given us, and also the gift of Nantian Temple. And welcome, Reverend Yo. Thank you very much for your guidance, Reverend Yo. And also, before I start, I just would like to introduce, the environmental and preservation practice by our Master Hsing Yun. That is actually available online as well. You can have it in English, you can have it in Chinese, Huan Bao yi Xin Bao. And also, he also actually have written a talk about protecting our environment. And there's another one in Chinese, and protecting the environment. He actually has given lots of talks, regarding to environment, because, like we actually going to show you in a minute, like cooking. It's actually in part of the practice as well. 佛教以自然生态, that is another small book that he actually, the talks that he actually given to us. And that is actually 佛教对环保问题的看法. So this is actually lots of different perspective on environment and preservation practice. Now, today the cooking workshop is actually going to concentrate on one of Master Hsing Yun's Dharma talk is, or word is Ipan. What it is actually half. You know, we can actually look at things as half. So here I have got the ingredients, like I said before, the lamb yong, the white fungus, white mushroom, which is I soaked last night. And you don't have to soak it for that long. You can say soak it for 15 minutes. That's enough. That is actually the dry form, and that is the wet form. And this is the black fungus, the black mushroom. Ipan, the black and white. That if we can actually do that will be fantastic. And in here, I have got the bean that I've actually cut up because we only have 15 minutes. So I'm going to start. The lemongrass that I've actually have cleaned up, harvest from our garden, and this is actually where the seed is, where I'm going to put it back to the garden again. So once I take it from the garden, from the Mother Earth, see how much I can give back. And I'm going to start. Now this one here, this is beautiful, smells beautiful. I wish you can actually be here to enjoy this with me. It's the Katilam. It's beautiful. So what I do is that this is actually, I also want to acknowledge my friend Book. She actually gave this tree to me 2 years ago, and it's doing not bad, but could be better. So,
and hello Priscilla, thanks for calling in from Malaysia.
Thank you, Priscilla. So happy to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you. How is Malaysia?
The weather is good. Previously we have flood, but they are cleaning up now.
So you're actually affected by the storm as well?
Yes.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's send our regard to those who actually affected in Singapore and in Kuala Lumpur, isn't it? Is it Kuala Lumpur or is it just which part of Malaysia?
Penang.
Oh, Penang. Oh.
It's near Kuala Lumpur.
Oh. Dear. There, yeah. Let's send our blessed wishes to those who are actually affected by natural disasters. Now I'm actually cutting the lemongrass, and you can actually see there's actually wings of it, and I can actually hear the music. I only cut one strings like that. That is actually take longer time. But what I'm actually going to do next is I'm going to make a little bit of noise. So when we all have emotion, right? When we are actually angry, we can actually scream at someone or scream at ourselves, or we can actually use this as a practice. Just bang on the lemongrass, heartfully and mindfully. Not to hurt the lemongrass, but just to express our feeling. Can you see the differences? When you actually bang, when I'm actually banging on the lemongrass, I don't have to chop it up. It's all coming in little pieces like that. That for me, I call it practice. I call it preservation, because you know I'm actually using the energy that I have. Like Thomas was talking about the feelings of anger, feeling of frustration with the environment, of the upset of whatever it is. We can actually use that energy, safely in the cooking. Banging the lemongrass with love, with compassion. We can actually do that as well. So that is my practice when I'm actually doing cooking. So just chop them up like that, and when I banged it like that, it tastes much better. because I can, even when I'm cutting it now, I can feel, and I can feel the freshness. I can smell it as well. So that goes in. Same as chili. I can cut them like this, small pieces like that. Or, this is all from the garden, by the way. We actually grow chili, lots of chili, and we also grow lemongrass. We also have lemon and lime in the garden as well. So I just give that a bang, 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 and you can actually see the flavors and the juice, it actually comes out. And another thing also, the taste, the fragrance, the aroma, the heat of the chili also actually come out as well. And also it's easier to cut because it then stay here, it doesn't run away anyway. There you go. And I preserving my energy or time. I don't have to actually to chop it up. Okay, the next bit here, what I'm actually going to do, just actually going to do it very roughly because of the time that we actually have. Squeeze out the water with the black fungus, line them up together, and cut them small. Now, with the ingredients that I'm actually chosen, it doesn't have to be what it is here. What I'm actually doing is that it's a bit different to the traditional Larb Lao. I'm from Laos. I was born in Laos. And this is actually one of our delicacy, if you like, in Laos. We actually eat lots of Larb Lao, which is very different, a little bit different to Thai. Larb Thai is actually, or Larb Pet or Larb Gai in Thailand. When you actually go to the Thai restaurant, it's a bit different. Okay, I'm actually conscious of time that I have. So I'm just going to cut this small bit piece as well. So, you know, because apologize. I'm actually have to apologize because, you know, in Laos we actually using the pork skin, and because this is vegetarian, you don't use pork skin. What is it that you can actually replace them with? And you can, of course, you can actually replace them with beans. You can replace them with the mushroom, the fresh mushroom, or you can actually replace them with bean sprouts. But because I was thinking this morning or yesterday, should I actually go to the shop? But I wanted to stay away from the shop just for for a while. Yeah, just to actually to practice again, to stay home instead of wanted to go. Can I actually stay home? So replace it with what do you call them? This is actually the what do you call this one, Thomas?
Broccoli.
Broccoli, yeah. The broccoli stalk, you can use them to. I often actually save them to do pickles. Instead today, I'm chopped them into small pieces. I also use this in salad as well. You know, with purple salad, it's actually very nice as well. Okay, so I'm just throwing that in. With this one here, the Vietnamese mint, I use lots of Vietnamese mint because at the moment we have got a lot. Normally, I would use the normal mint, but the normal mint, I have been using it for a while because the normal mint is very, very good to help with the stress, to help with relaxing, to to make us happy. Yeah, so I have used up the mint that I have. So I have to have to settle with this Vietnamese mint. You can actually pick it with hands, or like what I'm actually doing is I'm going to cut it because of time. If I have time, if I'm actually doing this with my friend, this would be my eco-therapy. Will be my practice mindfully, my meditations, if you like. So I would, just rip them up one by one and then just throw it into the bowl. But because I don't have much time, I mindfully, even though I know that I actually don't have time, but I'm actually still here to be cooking using 15 minutes. That is actually a very good practice as well. That is part of the preservations. Can we actually do things in 15 minutes? Yeah, there I have got it. Same thing, hand is beautiful that we can actually use them. We can actually rip it up like that, or we can actually cut them. So whatever you do use our hands, because hand is a beautiful thing. And in Laos and in India, we believe that hand is actually given and by God, you know, by the Buddha, by our mother, by our parents. Why not use them? So when we use our hand to cook, that is therapeutic. That is very healing in itself. Now I'm actually not going to put too much of the lamb yong mushroom in there. That's actually all enough for me. Now the next step is I'm going to wash my hands. So I don't have to use that much lamb yong at all. What I'm actually going to put in is lemons. Lemons actually bring out beautiful flavors in lots of things. Lemon or limes, you know, is actually give us also, you know, lemon itself is very acidic, but once it's actually go to our body, our human system, then it's actually alkalized. It's very good, not just for good taste, not just you know, for the nice smell. It's also very good for our human being as well. Now with the skin, I can actually, I will use them for my water in a minute. There you go. That's actually my water is actually dropping in there into my glass of water. So that actually, you know, be very good. There you go. That goes that. Now, another thing also, the main ingredient that we actually have is this roast rice powder. What it is the sticky rice. You actually don't soak them as it is. You put them over the hot pot and just you know, roast them. Tom doesn't really likes it, so is that okay? I'm using it, Tom. Yeah, Tom doesn't actually really likes that. So normally, traditionally, we would actually put that in just to give it a nice.
It's like having sand in your sandwich.
It is like having sand in your sandwich. That's what actually Tom was saying. Another thing that we actually need also, we actually need the soy sauce. Now with my soy sauce, I don't know, you can actually see, it's glass. Whatever you buy, even with your oil as well, and you know, whatever the cookware you actually have, just actually be that make that choice of using glass rather than plastic. We can actually make that choice of say no to plastic in all we can. You know, whatever we can do, we do it. Yeah, we're not concentrating on what we cannot do. So, you know, we can make that choice from home. We don't have to tell other people what to do and what not to do, what we should do and what we should not do. So we just do it. That is a practice. That is the environmental practice. That is also a spiritual practice as well. Now, as you can see, everything is actually mixed in. Now, why is it this is spiritual? The spiritual for me is that a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of white, a bit of black, a little bit of green. You can actually see a little bit of chili, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon. We all need a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We cannot deny the dark skies, the night skies. We cannot deny, you know, the bad. We have to actually accept them all. Can we do that? It's very, it's tricky. It's not easy to do, but it's a practice. Next one, I can smell it beautifully. Next, to put into the taste, if you can excuse me. Perfect. It's just perfect. Now, if I'm actually going to have this with sticky rice, then I will actually add more soy sauce to it to make it actually a little bit saltier. But what I'm actually going to do, in Lao what we do, we get something and we wrap it up. Not wrap it up, we just actually put it on top like that. And then we pop into our mouth. Another thing in Lao what we do is, we always eat our larb with cucumbers. So you pick up one cucumber. That's very beautiful. What happened is actually, when I have it by itself, it tastes different. When I actually have that chewy of the cucumbers together with that, that changed the taste a little bit. And if I'm actually, when I'm actually use it, serve it with the lettuce leaf, or sometimes we also use the cabbage leaf, it also actually gives it a different kick, different flavor to that as well. Having said that, we have to be there mindfully and heartfully to taste it, to feel it, to hear it, to experience it. It's not like you are on Zoom now, thank you very much, but I wish that you can be here to taste it with me. So you can actually, from my experience, from I'm telling you, it's different to what, when you actually put it into your mouth, you can tell, you can experience it for yourself. Do you like it? You don't like it? Like Tom was actually saying, this tastes like sand, you know, like you actually put sand into your mouth. But for Lao people, if you don't have that roast rice in there, we don't call it larb. It's just not larb. Yeah. Any question? Any comment? All right. So thank you so much, everybody, and thank you so much